Hello, amazing folks. Welcome to another episode of the podcast series Trivia Talks. I'm your host Tarun Mundra, and in today's episode, we will be talking about an interesting topic from the world of marketing with Punita Parekh. Punita is a media veteran for over a decade now. She specializes in content marketing, brand planning, media advertising, and also a storyteller for brands. She have experience of working with many reputed brands such as Times Network and CNBC TV. In today's episode, she will be discussing about content marketing and personal branding in a very simplified manner. So without any further delay, let's start the discussion with Punita Parekh and let's know some amazing and interesting stuff from the world of marketing. Let's go. So, hello Punita, welcome to Trivia Talks, and thank you so much for joining us. It feels amazing to have you on the show.
Thanks so much, Tarun.
So, as I begin with a very common question for all my guests, so I'm asking you also, like, how are you spending your time in this lockdown?
Sure. Lockdown has been quite interesting for me because, I have managed to uh, kind of dive into myself on the LinkedIn platform since about 3 months. And since 3 months, I've been curating so much content on LinkedIn, kind of networking with so many people. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of become like a complete full day's job in terms of networking, curating content, and it's become
Okay.
a very interesting journey for me, also
Mm-hmm.
supporting a lot of people, mentoring a lot of people on LinkedIn, students, professionals who don't know how
Wow.
to curate content. So that's how I'm doing it.
Wow, that's nice. So, like we will be talking about content marketing for sure, and also about personal branding. Before that, I just want to ask you about storytelling journey of yours. So, how this journey of storytelling started, and you are also a storyteller for brands. So, yeah, tell a brief about it, like how the journey started, and yeah.
Yeah, so basically, you know what, Tarun, let me just give you a quick background in terms of what I've been doing over these years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a content marketer and a storyteller
Mm-hmm.
for brands. I have worked with companies like CNBC TV 18 and the Times Network for over a
Yeah.
decade doing content marketing. So I've always been doing
Yeah.
content marketing for brands. But then the lockdown, what
Mm-hmm.
happened is I was always on LinkedIn, but I was a zombie on LinkedIn, before that, before I
Okay.
joined. May 2020 is when I
Mm-hmm.
kind of stumbled upon LinkedIn, and that's how I
Mm-hmm.
my journey of content curating started. Because I said that I want to start
Okay.
curating my own content, which basically impacts
Mm-hmm.
people's lives. So I started writing two kinds of content. One is my personal development content, which talks about the kind of person I am, and second is my
Mm-hmm.
professional experience content in terms of educating people in terms of
Okay.
what content marketing is. So because of these two things, I kind of curated such content which gave me a lot of uh, you know uh, noise among my LinkedIn audience.
Right.
Correct.
So yeah, that's perfect. And you're actually right. In the last few years, we can see that content consuming is increasing in a very rapid manner, right? And that can be because of the 4G revolution, that can be because of the cheap data which we have, and that can also happen due to the pandemic or the lockdown,
Right.
right? So, and it's a very important stuff as of now because content is everywhere. Like on every social media, we can find content. And we want to know about the marketing of this particular content, because if content is everywhere, then how should we market? Like everyone is somehow connected with content directly or indirectly, right? So according to you, what is exactly content marketing in a very simple manner if we ask?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I would say in a very, very simplistic manner is content marketing is basically a strategic marketing approach, basically focused on creating and distributing valuable and relevant content for your audience. In simpler words, content
Mhm.
marketing is mainly educational, which not only
Mhm.
talks about the products, but it mainly
Okay.
educates the audience and kind of understands what the audience wants. So we curate content for the audience in simpler words.
Right. That's perfect. So, like when we talk about this, how does one look at building a content marketing strategy?
Yeah, sure. So Tarun, you know what? Content marketing has various roles, but I would say that there are a few steps one needs to follow before they kind of start
Mm-hmm.
their content marketing strategy. First is it's very important to kind of figure out in terms of what
Mm-hmm.
your objective and your goal is towards creating a content marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Following to that, once you do that, then you need to identify who your ideal audience is. Then you need to kind of create an editorial strategy. Basically, that will create a
Mm-hmm.
personality of your brand, which will help customers connect to your brand. And lastly, most importantly, you need to look at curating content which is worthy, where the audience can be inspired
Yeah.
with your content, where the audience can get enlightened by your content. So if you use these few steps, you can look at
Mm-hmm.
creating a detailed content marketing strategy.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. So, when I talk about the of content marketing in the last few years, so we have seen a storytelling Fevicol TV commercial from, Zomato creating a very, you can say very witty content for their for their brand. How are you looking into this particular of content marketing in the last one decade, you can say, or last 10 years?
So I would say like the evolution of content marketing over
Mm-hmm.
a decade has really changed drastically, because I would say Google has changed the game because they became more advanced. Social media rose,
Mm-hmm.
digital media came into a huge way. So many platforms in terms of on
Yep.
social media were launched. Video content grew, mobile
Mm-hmm.
content grew drastically. So I would say content marketing
Yeah.
has completely evolved with time,
Exactly. If I talk about some personal branding tips from you also, like we will be talking about it for sure. So in case if someone want to, like sell themselves, like it can be happen in the interview or it can happen everywhere. So for that also we need that art of storytelling, like which you were telling earlier. So we actually need that also. And yeah, like content marketing is important when we link all those things in the world of marketing. And you rightly said about it that Google have evaluated like everything when we talk about the digitalization. So uh, talking about very common thing which is very common for the Indian like population, which is opinion about MEs to implement storytelling as a tool. Like if I ask you about it.
Sure. So I would say, you know what, SMEs are very critical for our Indian population. There are so many small, medium
Yeah.
enterprise companies who have launched over this one decade. So I would say every
Mm-hmm.
brand or every product, Tarun, be it small or big,
Mm-hmm.
has the ability to become a storyteller. So some of the ways which I
Mm-hmm.
would say for an SME to grow their business would
Mm-hmm.
be it's very important that when the SME is looking at creating a brand strategy, they need to kind of
Mm-hmm.
set themselves apart from the others, by talking about their
Yeah.
customers and not their product. Because you know what, Tarun? The
Mm-hmm.
human brain, okay, our human brain is kind of wired for stories, Every
Mm-hmm.
story needs a hero. So if we
Mm-hmm.
kind of use stories to get and keep attention, it
Yeah.
kind of creates an emotional connection. Like, do you remember the old storytelling writing concept of rule of three, where if you want something stuck in somebody's head, we use a
Mm-hmm.
sequence of three. So have you ever wondered something like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Three Little Pigs? So this
Yeah.
combination pattern makes
Mm-hmm.
the content very memorable and engaging, So
Okay.
storytelling must be a part of all brands, period.
Right. So, according to your experience, did you created any such like campaigns, ad campaigns, which were linked to those storytelling thing?
Yes, absolutely, I did. So I'd worked with a
Yeah.
brand called Kohler. Kohler is into
Mm-hmm.
bathroom fittings and bathroom fittings brand. So what Kohler wanted
Yeah.
to do is Kohler wanted to kind of promote their bathrooms and their
Mm-hmm.
products, and
Mm-hmm.
we called as bold bathrooms.
Okay.
So what did we as a network do? What did we do is
Mm-hmm.
we created a video series where we created a complete impactful video called Dream in
Mm-hmm.
Color, where we selected people like you and me from different walks of life.
Yeah.
You know, And
Yeah.
we went to their houses and their bathrooms and
Mm-hmm.
kind of revamped their entire bathroom. So what happened in this journey
Okay.
is we as a broadcast channel did the entire shoot of the bathroom, which
Mm-hmm.
had the
Mm-hmm.
Kohler products, and in the end we made a impactful video which was like a
Mm-hmm.
storytelling format. So when we published this video, Tarun, on social
Mm-hmm.
media, what happened is it became such a viral content that Kohler
Mm.
got so many leads because everybody
Okay.
wanted to make their bathroom just like how Kohler did for those people. So it became like a viral
Mm-hmm.
campaign, a storytelling viral campaign. So hence I would totally feel that storytelling plays such an important role for all brands, Tarun.
Mm-hmm. So that's amazing, actually. Like Punita, if I ask you if someone from a management institute would like to learn about storytelling skill, I know it's like not that difficult to learn about it, but it requires some certain, consistency also. So if you would like to give few tips regarding it, that how someone can learn about storytelling and can use it in the professional level also.
Yeah, sure. So I would say if somebody wants to look at becoming a storyteller for either brands or even for
Mm-hmm.
themselves, I would say first they need to kind
Yeah.
of find a niche for themselves, Tarun, like understand what they are good at.
Mm-hmm.
If they are good at writing content related to finance, focus on that, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
If they are keen on
Yeah.
writing content related to real estate, focus on that. Once you kind of find your niche,
Mm-hmm.
then the next step is understand who your audience is. Is your audience target audience between 18 to 24 or 40 to 50 years of age?
Mm-hmm.
So understand the demographics of the audience. That's the second step. So once you understand the demographics of the
Right.
audience, then you kind of curate and customize content basis your niche and your audience. And
Mm-hmm.
most important, have an emotional
Yeah.
connect with your audience. Put your customers first and see what they want, what their desires are, what their wants are. Once you have these few skills to understand how to curate content,
Mm-hmm.
storytelling becomes extremely seamless.
Very true. Talking about those things, so what are the different ways that people from the age group of 16 to 25 can use content to grow their personal branding?
Yeah, Tarun, it's a very important question, because, like, do you
Hmm.
remember those days when only celebrities and major companies had personal brands, right? But now it's
Right.
changed,
Yeah.
because, Tarun,
Yeah.
everyone and anyone can become a hero in their
Hmm.
domain. They
Hmm.
can become a thought leader in their own space if they're willing
Exactly.
to work on it. Because there are a few ways I would say, Tarun. First, as I
Hmm.
said, start by finding
Yeah.
your niche. Once you find your
Hmm.
niche and understand what you're good at, then
Hmm.
follows the second step in terms of what you personally want to bring to the table by sharing your viewpoint. Are you wanting to educate your audience? Are you wanting to enlighten your audience? Are you wanting to
Right.
inspire your audience? Once you know that, then kind
Hmm.
of create your own brand identity either by curating content, writing your own blogs, owning social media
Hmm.
pages. So, whatever you want to
Hmm.
do, portray it in a very confident manner, you know, because ultimately becoming a recognized authority in your niche
Hmm.
is doable,
Right.
Tarun. It's completely doable. Anybody can do it, but you have to work on it. That's it. Period.
Very
You
true.
know?
Yeah, right. So yeah, like it was very helpful for to understand, what it exactly is content marketing and personal branding. And also we have linked that particular thing with the storytelling part. Uh, yeah, lastly, just, a few tips for the youngsters. You already gave about the content marketing and personal branding, but I would like to ask about the career. If someone would like to make their career in this particular field, like at the professional level, as you are also like as you were working with the so-called so famous brands, right? So how should one start to approach such brands, and if they want to learn more about content marketing and personal branding, how should they approach like persons like you, and also from the field of advertising?
Sure. So, firstly, if anybody wants to train under me in terms of content marketing or storytelling, they can definitely reach me on
Yeah.
LinkedIn as my name is Punita Parekh. So, they can definitely send me a message. That's step one. Step two, there
Right.
are plenty of
Hmm.
resources, Tarun, available. on platforms on Google, platforms like
Mm-hmm.
HubSpot, platforms like Contently,
Mm-hmm.
platforms like
Mm-hmm.
Marketo, which kind of help you with a lot of knowledge, and guidance for
Correct.
creating
Mm-hmm.
storytelling or content marketing strategies. So there are these brilliant tools which are definitely available on the platform, which all you guys must look at gaining knowledge from.
Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Punita. Thank you so much for joining the podcast and sharing your knowledge about the content marketing and personal branding. I hope like everyone learned a lot from this particular topic, and we tried to keep it as simple as possible and as short as possible so that everyone can understand it very easily. And thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for giving your time to us.
Thanks so much.
Well, that's all from today's episode. I hope you have liked it. In case if you have any suggestion or feedback, you can reach out to me at various social media handle. I'm adding the link in the description. We will be coming with such amazing and inspiring podcasts every week, so stay tuned and stay safe.